Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, August 20. Tragedy struck one St. James community today as an elderly man fell to his death. Police report that 70-year-old Philo Ingram of 9th Avenue, Durance Village, was reportedly trimming trees from the upstairs balcony of his house when one of the wooden support railings broke. He fell 14 feet, striking his head in the process. He died at the scene. Lawmen are also investigating the circumstances surrounding the unnatural death of two babies. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector RUDY said they responded to a report at Rendezvous Terrace, Christchurch last evening, and on arrival, the bodies of two babies, both 2 weeks old, were unresponsive. The medical doctor pronounced death at about 11:21 p.m. In other developments, Hoteliers and the Barbados Workers Union are set to meet tomorrow to discuss the issue of severance payments, with just a month to go before thousands of laid-off hotel workers can make their claims. Today, Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Senator RUDY cautioned that if all workers laid off in the sector trigger their severance payment, hoteliers will be facing a bill of some $300 million and they simply cannot afford it. By mid-June, about the 11th week of layoff for some workers, government changed the Severance Payment Act to allow for the right to severance to kick in at 22 weeks instead of the original 13 weeks.
The reality is that we have a situation where there has been a significant decline in the industry. Airlift coming in now is about 5% of what it would have been at this time last year. You have a situation where occupancy has declined by 91%. The occupancy now is in the vicinity of 6%. The average daily rate declined by 41%. Revenue has declined by 96%. So just looking at those figures, you can see the significant magnitude, and the issue of severance is one, I think, where all of the parties, government, the BHTA, the trade unions would want to secure jobs, would want to ensure that there's not that magnitude of severance that has to be undertaken, and to secure businesses as well.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the BHTA, Geoffrey ROACH, says they have been examining how other countries have handled the matter. He says they're focused on protecting jobs and businesses.
We certainly don't want persons to be severed, and while you might get some money in your hand up front, depending on your situation, you put yourself in a tough position pretty soon. As we said, this is going to pass. The question, as we all know, is we ask how soon. So what we are looking at are a number of options for discussion on severance issues, but not just severance, but there are also a number of alternatives that have been implemented in other countries that we want to explore to see how those could work in the Barbados landscape. So those discussions are due to be held shortly, and once we get through that, then we'll have a better idea as to where we stand with regard to persons being severed or other programs that may be implemented.
Grueling but rewarding. That's how two 2020 Chevening Scholarship winners have described the process. Tony Thorne and Daniel Howell on Thursday caught the prestigious scholarships for Barbados, joining 7 other awardees from Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In an interview with Barbados Today, the pair, who both hail from St. John, could not contain their excitement as they spoke about the moments leading up to the achievement.
I think we knew it for a little while now, and it was a hard secret to keep, and I am just really excited. I'm happy that it's two women from St. John as well, because both of us are from St. John, so greatness comes from St. John, and I'm just very excited. I will like to, however, dedicate my scholarship to a friend of mine, Diona, who is a lover of life and a fighter for life, as I go through this interview right now.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi.
Congratulations on your scholarship.
Thank you so much.
So just tell me a little bit about how you are feeling right now. That everybody knows that you have got this scholarship.
Ecstatic, overwhelmed, and extremely grateful. Grateful is the word of the day. I'm grateful for this scholarship. That's all I can say.
And you were telling me a little bit about how you prepared for this. It was a grueling task, was it?
Oh, yes, it was. Well, actually, this is the second time that I applied for Chevening. I would have applied previously in 2018. I was unsuccessful. However, I knew that this is something that I really wanted. And the second time around, I put my all into it. I dedicated most of my time after work into doing my achievement essays, and that was around November. You had to submit it for November. And because I worked so hard, I was able to submit the essay 3 weeks before the deadline. I was so sure that this is what I want to do. This is where I wanted to go.
In today's COVID-19 update, a Grenadian visitor who arrived on the British Airways flight on Tuesday is the latest COVID-19 positive patient in Barbados. The 38-year-old man was in transit to St. George's when he was tested for the viral illness at the Grantley Adams International Airport. He is now in isolation at Harrison Point, St. Lucie. No one was discharged from isolation today, and so the numbers at the facility have increased to 26. Confirmed cases now stand at 156 and recoveries are 123. The Best de Santos Public Health Laboratory completed 149 tests yesterday. The total number of tests conducted since February is 15,028.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news on the election scene in Jamaica, in the face of polls that suggest it's way behind the ruling Jamaica Labour Party, the People's National Party insists it will win the September 3 general election. More now from Television Jamaica.
The latest RJR Gleaner Don Anderson poll shows the Jamaica Labour Party 16 percentage points ahead of the People's National Party (PNP) going into the September 3 general election. But opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips says he is not fazed by the findings, as polls have been proven wrong in previous elections.
What really counts is the polls on the day, and it's not I am very confident that in the seat by seat count that we will hold on to those that we have, and we are targeting a number of seats, battleground seats you could call them, where we think we will take a few more. If we take 3 more, we form the government and hold on to those we have.
He blames the party's low approval rate on a communication issue, which he claims has now been resolved. That aside, if the PNP wins the general election, the leader is ready to tackle what he believes is the root cause of the country's low economic growth. He plans to target agriculture transformation, specifically the provision of land titles to small farmers.
On the international front, Steve Bannon, an architect of Donald Trump's 2016 election victory, was arrested on a yacht today and pleaded not guilty after he was charged with defrauding donors in a scheme to help build the president's signature wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
The one-time advisor to President Donald Trump is among 4 people charged with wire fraud, according to the Justice Department, in connection to a $25 million crowdfunding campaign dubbed We Build the Wall.
Well, I feel very badly.
When asked for comments regarding Bannon's arrest on Thursday, President Donald Trump called the situation sad, but distanced himself from the organization.
I didn't like that project. I thought that was a project that was being done for showboating reasons. I don't know that he was in charge. I didn't know any of the other people either.
Manhattan federal prosecutors allege Bannon and the 3 others received hundreds of thousands of dollars in donor funds from We Build the Wall, which they each used in a manner inconsistent with the organization's public representations. Bannon was arrested on Thursday aboard a 150-foot-long yacht in Connecticut, according to law enforcement sources, and hours later, wearing a protective white mask, appeared in court in Manhattan, where he entered a plea of not guilty. He was freed on $5 million bond and was barred by a federal magistrate judge from traveling internationally. Prosecutors said donors believed the money would go toward helping to build Trump's signature border wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. But instead, the indictment alleges Bannon who helped articulate Trump's fierce opposition to immigration as a top advisor to Trump's presidential campaign and later as chief White House strategist, received more than $1 million of that money through a nonprofit. While the defendants repeatedly assured donors that Brian Kolfage, the founder and public face of We Build the Wall, would not be paid a cent, Kolfage, a triple amputee U.S. Air Force veteran, actually received $350,000 that he used to fund a lavish lifestyle, according to prosecutors.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.